The story begins in a snowy place, as we were being told a story about how the world outside the ancestral mountains has been occupied by the snow-wind beasts, and people living in the mountain range have not had any contact with the outside world for hundreds of years. No one knew about the situation of the outside world. It is said that when humanity was at its peak, there were numerous powerful empires, but they were all wiped out. However, due to its stealthy location, this city remained well guarded from the Age of Darkness. It would often be under siege by the beasts, going through numerous devastating wars, but the city would be the city that is rebuilt again and again. Those motley walls were an indomitable monument, and this city represents the hope of humanity, and it's called Glory City. We are then taken to the Holy City Orchid Institute fighter apprentice class as a red-haired girl with purple clothing and fur around her neck, who was the teacher as the students in class were discussing the fact that they heard that the new teacher is from the sacred family and is a silver-ranked spiritualist. Sacred family? That's one of Glory City's 3 major families. The teacher then started explaining about how demon spiritualists and fighters have the same 5 levels: bronze, silver, gold, black gold, and legend rank. Each rank has its own different star levels. Unlike fighters who use their own strength, a demon spiritualist can integrate demons into his own soul realm and merge with them during battle, gaining power far surpassing a fighter. Then she told them that she was indeed one of them and wanting to demonstrate. She told everyone that her demon spirit is the Scarlet Flaming Fox, as she then transformed into a Flaming Fox spirit and continued to elaborate that after merging, one can gain its strength and fire abilities, and went further, explaining her capabilities that the Scarlet Flame Fox is a gold rank beast, meaning that the highest rank she can reach is a gold rank spiritualist. And of course after that, she can replace it for a stronger, more powerful demon spirit if needed, which excited the other students. While on the other hand, our main character, Nie Li, was busy sitting there in a daze, as if drifting into the subconscious space, as the daze was suddenly interrupted by some light rays penetrating the clouds, descending upon him as if heaven itself willed it, which instantly made him wake up in shock, while also confused about the current location. Where am I? My hands. Why have they become smaller? He then looked up for more confirmation, and at the sight of everything he naturally became shocked, as in front of him was a scene that was in his past life, which made him recall everything that was happening at the moment, and looking at the teacher he asked himself, "Is that Shen Shu? Am I in the Holy Orchid Institute?" He exclaimed, "I should be surrounded by the Sage Emperor and the 6 deity beasts. I exhausted all my strength and died in battle. So why did I return to the Holy Orchid Institute? Could it be that I have been reborn?" And to confirm everything, he looked around to check as he was amazed that his friend Lu Piao and Du Ze were still alive, and turning his head some more, he saw his beloved person who was a purple-haired girl, which made him the most happiest to see once more, as then began pinching his cheek to really confirm if all he was witnessing was not a dream and whether he really retired to the past. He later began to speculate why everything that was occurring is happening at the moment, which made him recall his most precious book, the Temporal Demon's Spirit Book, and after some searching on himself, he realized that it was nowhere to be found, as then recalled his memories that it has always been with him ever since he obtained it. After numerous battles, it became smeared with his blood. It must be the Temporal Spirit Book that brought me back to my 13-year-old body. In my previous life, Glory City suffered the furious onslaught of snow-wind demon beasts. The guardian of Glory City, the legend-ranked demon spiritualist Ye Mo, died in the battle. Only a few survived and fled together to the endless ancestral mountains. The older version of the purple-haired girl was there with him, and during the escape, one after another died. Nightfall, the sky dims, and under the threats of death, they snuggle tightly together. Traveling through the endless desert together, we stayed strong because of each other's smiles. But happiness is short-lived, as when I looked back, it was already too late. I ended up surviving the journey. After walking out of the endless desert, I traveled throughout the divine continent, meeting many humans that have survived against the demon spirit, and had many mysterious encounters, including the temporal demon spirit book. A pity that at the time, I was still too weak. When Glory City fell, my family and brothers died in the battle, and Ye Ziyun, who was the purple-haired girl, also died during the escape. When I died, I had just met her. If the heavens were to give me a second chance, and getting back to the present time, he exclaimed that the heavens granted him a second chance. Now that I am back, I will definitely make sure that Glory City isn't destroyed again. If it wasn't for the destruction of Glory City, Ye Ziyun, as a lord's daughter, wouldn't even have a second thought about a member of a declining family like me. But now that I have been reborn, all of this won't be a problem. Although my talent is poor, with the knowledge from the temporal demon spirit book in my previous life, increasing my abilities will be no problem. Nie Li, why are you smiling? Asked by his friend Lu Piao, but our boy just hugged him tightly and exclaimed, I am just happy. Good brother, glad to see me. Who is a good brother to you, you gay lord? Release me. However, Nie Li just smiled and responded that no matter what he thinks, in his heart he is his good brother, which stunned Lu Piao a bit, and just called him a weirdo as the continued again, that he knew that Nie Li belongs to one of the noble families. But however, he must warn him that he must not get any ideas about that girl, as her identity is very mysterious, and when she just joined the school, the principal personally arranged her dorms. But our boy Nie Li just responded that she is his woman, with extreme confidence and a smile covering his face. Meanwhile, in his head, he was thinking about, when will this little girl grow up to become that sultry, beautiful woman? And looking at her, he continued to say that he will protect her and they will grow up together. The girl Ye Ziyun, meanwhile, was thinking to herself that this good-for-nothing has been glaring at her for a while now. Humph, if he dares to bully me, I will teach him a lesson. While the guy who was sitting next to Ye Ziyun was questioning exactly where the girl was looking and seeing the person, he saw our boy Nie Li making a dumb face, which caused the guy to stare at him crazily. According to Nie Li, he began to remember the guy's name, who was Shen Shu, and he is from the sacred family, one of the 3 major families, and they can be considered a generation of geniuses, and the teacher Shen Shu is her aunt. In my previous life, Shen Shu had always been pursuing Ye Ziyun. It was said that the both of them were already engaged, and in terms of family, they are both well matched, and if Glory City hadn't been destroyed, they would definitely have been married to each other. However, when Glory City was under attack, the sacred family betrayed Glory City and ran away. Meanwhile, the current dilemma is that this Ye Ziyun has a good impression towards Shen Shu and looks at me with disdain. She thinks of me as useless nobility. However, with his past memory of them together, he thought to himself that it does not matter, as thanks to the temporal demon spirit book they have been allowed to meet again, and our soon-to-become waifu looked at him, thinking that he was weirdo since he has been looking at her for so long. It then shifts to the teacher who was looking at Ye Ziyun, who is the daughter of the city lord and legend-ranked spiritualist Lord Ye Mo's granddaughter. She also has a Cayenne soul realm, and she is a rarely seen genius, as he also continued, if Shen Shu managed to marry Ye Ziyun as his wife, their influence within Glory City would greatly increase, which is why we arranged him into this class. She then released her transformation and began the lecture. For the next 2 years, you are all my students. Although the school mentioned that all the students are equals, I have to inform you of a cruel truth. In this world, equality doesn't exist. After you all grow up, you will soon agree with my words. You can't be living in this fairy tale forever. Glory City is the only city that survived through the age of darkness. Therefore, we are the hope of humanity. There are 2 types of powerful existence in Glory City, the fighters and the demon spiritualists. Among thousands of fighters, there will only be one demon spiritualist. Born spiritualists are a noble existence, and as of now, Glory City only has a few thousands demon spiritualists. We are guardians of Glory City. Fighters and demon spiritualists are differentiated into bronze, silver, gold, black gold, and legend, rank. The higher the rank, the more powerful they are. Only if a gold rank demon spiritualist appears in a family can that family become an aristocrat family. If a black gold rank appears, the family can become a noble family, and if they want to become a major family, 3 black gold or a legend rank has to appear in the family. Among the 36 of you here, there are some from ironworker families and some from noble families. Although your start is the same, your status isn't. I hope that everyone has a certain level of self-awareness. A commoner will always be a commoner. Wanting to become nobility is impossible. So give up on the thought of rising up and turning into a phoenix. Even among the nobles, there are strict levels that can never be exceeded. And hearing this lady speak, I would also be super angry, as it also affected those who were commoners. Duze, whose family circumstances weren't good in my previous life, however, Duze was very hardworking and talented. He still became a gold-ranked demon spiritualist with his own strength without the support of his family. During the destruction of Glory City, many nobles only thought of how to escape, but it was commoners like Duze who fought for Glory City until the bitter end. In my previous life, the first was you, the sacred family who was the first to run away, which caused him to angrily glare at the arrogant teacher, and with that knowledge he was not going to make it easy for everyone related to the sacred family, and so he decided to challenge the teacher by raising his hand in an excited manner. Teacher Shen Shu, I have some questions. Meanwhile, the teacher was thinking to herself that, it's the brat that has been coveting Ye Ziyun has come looking for trouble himself and then said, "What is your question?" Teacher Shen Shu, you mentioned that Glory City is the only city that has survived through the age of darkness, and that we are the only humans alive. Do you have any evidence supporting this? Has the teacher gone out of the saint's ancestral mountain before and visited the endless desert, the toxic forest, the blood moon marsh, the spirit gulf, the heavenly luster mountain, and the northern snow? What heavenly luster mountain? What northern snow? I've been in Glory City since birth. I have not gone to those places, said the teacher. Ha! Since teacher Shen Shu has never visited those places, how can you be so sure that we are the only humans surviving? Replied our boy. And his reply naturally angered the teacher while the other students were wondering about what Nie Li said, also sparking the interest of our Ye Ziyun, and the Shen Yue was still being annoyed at the sight of our MC, but he is not important at this moment, so let's move on. Then what evidence do you have to prove that we are not the only humans alive? Asked the teacher. Evidence? Let me tell you a story. There was once a frog who lived in the bottom of the well. Since his birth, he had always been in the well. Therefore, from the start, he could only see part of the sky, that it is only as big as the whole of the well. But is the sky only the size of the whole? He asked. So we say that the frog is viewing the sky from the bottom of the well. With that, his statement got every student laughing, as the analogy of viewing the sky from the bottom of the well is a good description, which also angered the teacher even further, as he is actually talking back to her, saying that she is viewing the sky from the well, and it is starting to get on her nerves. Meanwhile, Wifey was also amused by his words, saying that Nie Li is actually interesting, which was witnessed by our boy as he then winked her while smiling, which caught her off guard and quickly turned her head in embarrassment, while his friend Lu Piao was also giving him a thumbs up for actually publicly challenging the teacher and teasing Ye Ziyun. He then spoke once more. Teacher Shen Shu, I have another question. What question do you still have? Well, you said that a commoner will always be a commoner. Wasn't Lord Ye Mo a commoner when he was younger? Is the teacher unaware of this? That's right. Lord Ye Mo was a commoner, said the other students, which also sparked the interest of Du Zi, since himself was a commoner. However, the teacher trying to keep face made a comeback by saying, in Glory City's 100-year history, Lord Ye Mo is the only one to have climbed to the peak. But didn't teacher Shen Shu say it was impossible? Aren't you contradicting yourself now? Hey, and pulling off a wide grin. He continued, Lord Ye Mo is a prime example. Regardless of the origin, everyone's potential is limitless. Nothing is impossible if one is willing to climb, which took aback the teacher by his statement, also gaining the favor of Du Zi. However, the teacher was not going to give up so easily, and she said, you smartass, do you think putting things this way can change the harsh reality? You talk about Lord Ye Mo's glory, but not about those who tried to do the same, unable to even become a fighter. Nie Li, right? You can be considered an aristocrat family, since you do not know your place. Let me see what kind of talent you have. And then began opening up his information. She laughed a little and began reading out loud his talent, which was as follows. Nie Li, Red Soul Realm, Current Soul Force 5, Physical Strength 21. With your talent, you can only reach bronze rank fighter in your lifetime. Wanting to be a demon spiritualist is simply impossible. You are inferior to even the weakest of commoners. No wonder you dared to speak this way. You are just trying to hide your low self-esteem. Psh! Such poor talent only fit to live in the lower classes of Glory City, remarked the waste Shen Yue, and continued in his head, if it weren't for Ye Ziyun, I wouldn't be classmates with this trash. On the other hand, the teacher was still mocking our MC, saying with such talent, even within your family you wouldn't receive attention. Yet you acted so rampant, rude to your elders. However, this seems to make our hero even more angry, as he responded with a serious demeanor. Teacher Shen Shu, you think that the soul realm decides a person's future? With that despicable character of yours, you will only defend the gifted and mock the mediocre. Yet here you stand preaching principles. You're just trying to cover your despicable character. Silence, she yelled. Who do you think you are? You dare to discredit your professor. However, our boy just responded that he feels ashamed having a teacher like her. Also in his head, he was thinking that he can guarantee that in this class there will be many commoners exceeding her expectations, obtaining unimaginable achievements. Then said out loud, instead of nurturing them patiently, you used harsh words to demoralize them. You are not worthy to be a professor. I have a weak talent, so what? There will be a day when I will become a legend, ranked demon spiritualist like Lord Ye Mo, and marry the most beautiful woman in Glory City. And while saying that our wifey caught the gaze of our boy, who was intending for exactly that, which made her turn away in embarrassment once more as she was blushing non-stop, meanwhile also annoying the waste man Shen Yue. At the same time, the teacher then began to laugh. Ha ha ha. This is the funniest joke I have ever heard. A Red Soul Realm actually said that he wants to become a legend, ranked demon spiritualist, like Lord Ye Mo. Even when he was younger, Lord Ye Mo was tested to have amazing talent, having a Qian Soul Realm. You think success comes solely from hard work alone? Ridiculous. Rather than running your mouth here, why not start learning more earnestly? However, our boy Nie Li just responded to her that he knows that his heart is full of contempt. But one day I will shut your mouth with hard facts. Aptitude does not determine a person's worth. Using the weak to defeat the strong, to overcome heaven. We practitioners are already challenging the impossible by going against the heavens. Without a continuous fighting spirit, without the courage to turn the impossible possible, even possessing extraordinary talent is useless. Teacher Shen Shu, how about making a bet with me? What bet? We will bet that on the test coming in 2 months' time, I will be able to reach bronze rank demon spiritualist. If I fail to do so, I will quit this school. However, if I succeed, then you will resign. How about it? which shocked everyone, but the teacher just laughed, saying that he talks big, thinking that he can raise his soul force from 5 to 100 in 2 months. However, Nie Li did not waver in his determination and only asked one question, which was whether the teacher would dare or not. And according to the teacher, if that was the case, then why would she not dare, and said again, "I do not believe an egoistic brat like you could achieve anything. Who do you think you are? Behaving so arrogantly, such rudeness towards your teacher. For the next 2 months you will stand at the back of the classroom while listening to lectures," and our boy, without hesitation, just stood up and headed to the back of the class and said, "Teacher Shen Shu has agreed to the bet, so don't regret it later on." Regret? What a joke. "Don't come to me crying later on," said the teacher. The other classmates then began to ridicule our boy Nie Li, saying that the future legend-ranked demon spiritualist got punished standing. "Ha ha, he's afraid of withdrawing from school. Weren't you being egoistic just a while ago?" However, not everyone shared their views, as among the classmates there were real ones. As the first one to stand up for our boy Nie Li was none other than Du Ze. As in his head he was thinking that Nie Li is a nobility, and yet was punished for speaking up for commoners like them. So how can he remain seated? So instead, he proudly stood right next to our boy Nie Li at the back of the class, and seeing that Nie Li just smiled happily. "Well, since you like standing, then you can stand there together," said the teacher. However, that wasn't the end of it, as Lu Piao also joined in the fun and stood next to Nie Li as well. Nie Li then laughed, "Ha ha ha. Why are you here?" he asked, and Lu Piao just responded that sitting down is pretty boring, and he feels more relaxed standing up, can't I? And hearing that, Nie Li just laughed again, rubbing his nose, and said that it suited him, while also feeling very proudful. Seeing what was occurring, a few more people got very inspired, and one was saying, "This
guy, to speak up for us, he even made such a big bet." And another, "Nie Li seems like a reliable person." The last one also laughed, "Ha ha ha, I will support him till the end." And with that, in the next second, he gained 3 more supporters and 3 became 6. At the same time, in his heart, he said that with this bunch of brothers, things do not feel that bad. Well, that's it for now. To know more, be sure to like and subscribe for more content. Until next time.